Part 2.
Part 2.
Welcome back to the... You speak French, right?
Not really.
How do you say welcome to Part 2?
Bienvenue à Part 2.
Ooh!
I think.
Oh man, my nipples got moist. My nipples got so moist.
We're gonna have some like French players in the group just be like,
yeah, man.
that is completely wrong. What are you talking about? Starscream.
Starscream.
Can you do the GFSR?
Yeah. One thing I know in French is the word random. It's Starscream. Yeah. Okay. I know two things. Starscream and you know how to say. You know when we say like random because that was random or whatever.
Yeah.
Pif.
Right.
So in French, apparently, when you listen to them talk about King of Fighters, every other sentence you'll hear beef, which is a random hop kick or whatever the fuck. So whenever I see a hop kick now, I'm just gonna say beef. Oh, that was almost beef. Dinosaur loves his beef hop kicks, man.
Well, his orbital heels.
Yeah.
And his up forward King's up forward 4 is minus 13, isn't it?
Yeah. It's really good. Really good range.
Yeah, it's alright.
Kind of hard to avoid. Unless you time it very, very well. See, that's not to say that King's shit. But I think Dinosaur, if he sticks with him, like what? Give it a few more months.
Yeah.
He'll basically be a solid team.
I've noticed that in tournament his King struggles.
Oh, right.
Not I wouldn't say struggles, but you can obviously see that he's a bit more comfortable using Brian, and that's
of course.
he's been.
I mean, that was his T6 character.
Yeah.
You can't spend years playing one character and then all of a sudden, like 2 or 3 months afterwards, just for 2 or 3 months jump on another character. Yeah, it's true. And Ezzy's been kind of jumping around with Jin and
they're not even like similar characters.
That's the thing. Yeah, now King and Brian, totally opposite characters. You're right. You're very right. Yeah.
Different play styles, different kind of, there's like instinctive move sets.
Of course.
So it's like stuff that comes naturally for Brian is just not going to work at all for like King. Yeah.
I mean the
that's why I stick with Mischievous, man. That's what you need.
Well, yeah, the ground game's
jabs,
the same. You know what you're going for either way.
Exactly. Jabs, electric, hell sweep.
The flash and flare changes, but
down forward 1-2. That's why like
1-1s, all that kind of shit. But yeah, you're right. The mindset does change quite a bit. But then that's a good thing as well. I mean, if when you're comfortable with both those playstyles, it can be beneficial when you're playing someone. It's a head fuck. It's a head fuck. You got that solid guy, and then all of a sudden the loose cannon comes in doing all that mad shit, and you're like, fuck. Okay, you have to kind of switch it up.
Yeah, and then switch it up often as well.
Yeah, exactly. As often as you can tag in, really.
Wow, I just walked into the shit electric.
But yeah. They're still. But these guys, you know what? The matchup didn't in this first 10.
Yeah.
It didn't change up too much. Like they didn't change up their styles too much because you'll notice that if you watch them play this first to 10 and then say I got them in right now and got them to play first to 10, it's essentially just a continuation of all the matches they've ever played. Every time I see them do long sets together, it's always just that. They know each other so well now. They don't go in like, for instance, if I saw one of the new guys, like when for instance Mario came in and played Harry, he had a game plan. Mario had a game plan because he knew it was Harry, he knew it was Yoshi.
Yeah.
He had ideas. But these guys seriously don't bother with that kind of shit against each other now. It's like you play each other to the point where there is not going to be no secret game plan. You know what you need to do. You just have to hope that whichever order of mix-up you go for is the one that works on that day.
Yeah.
And it just happened that it worked for Ezzy more. Well, no, sorry, that's because Ezzy is a bit more on point as well. That matters as well. Ezzy's been playing a lot more than Dinosaur. And that just happens to show. He's basically quicker. The more you play, you know how it is. You're just quicker. You're just you're fresh. Dinosaur, you'll see at some points he hesitates a little bit, and also because of the character thing. I think that really.
Well, because I play regularly with my cousin, and I've noticed that you can only have like a sneaky secret tactic or something. That only works for so long if you've been playing something for that long. Because as soon as they suss it out,
it's done.
Either one of us, and he's usually the guy who finds out something before me, and then decides to keep it a secret and wait till I hit up practice mode and figure out how to deal with it myself. Thank you very much. That only works for so long until that goes out the window, and then you're back playing exactly the same way you played before.
Yeah, so I mean that's hard to change. You can't be super fresh all the time. Yeah. Wish you could, but plus this game doesn't really allow you to do that.
Nope.
Not continuously anyway. So you just got to be solid, rely on the mix-ups.
We were discussing yesterday actually a couple of days ago. I think anyway that this game kind of dictates a bit too much how to play.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, just
you meant the
mechanics?
System,
the mechanics just dictate how you should play a bit too much.
I mean, that's actually something we can talk about a little bit now. You were mentioning Netsu.
Yeah.
You think that Netsu dictates the way a lot of people play, or it guides people to play in a certain way.
It kind of just dictates how the round pans out, and then therefore usually how the sets pan out. So it's like, and it happens so often, and it happens every time that you receive a tag assault.
Right. Well, break that down a little bit more. Like, what is it about for instance, like, what is it about Netsu that you find causes you to play in a particular way?
If you're in a situation where you have, I mean, there, for example, first of all, there are certain people who will pick characters purely based on the amount of damage that they do with Netsu. Or if it's not like that, that's not a pure choice. It is a choice.
It's something they consider.
It's definitely something like they, it's a significant influence on their decision to play them.
Right.
And then secondly, if you receive Netsu, maybe not if like you said a couple of days ago, maybe not if you're like an older player or you have more experience, but you almost feel pressured to like not waste it. You want to when you have Netsu, you do want to get in as much hits as possible, which makes you play more aggressive. Then obviously if you're playing against somebody who has Netsu, my first thought usually is, okay, this guy's got Netsu, he doesn't want to waste it, so he's gonna go in. So I'm gonna try and keep him out. I'm gonna turtle up a bit. I'm gonna make sure that I don't whiff anything big, so that he doesn't do extra damage. And then the cycle just continues, just because Netsu happens so often during a round.
Oh, that's true.
And also, like, every set takes so long to play. All the rounds take so long to play. It just seems that this kind of this ebb and flow that is dictated by the system mechanics, as opposed to the players evolving themselves.
Okay, yeah.
Their gameplay is changing, but like because the mechanics have changed.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's true. I do agree with quite a lot of that, but I think the game is still pretty young, and you'll find that in any game. When the game first comes out, people haven't had enough time to kind of to evolve, as you mentioned, or work out how to evolve. So they just use whatever they can to get the damage and win, which at this point happens to be I've got the Netsu now. I'm going to use it to destroy you.
Yeah.
But saying that, I mean, I've only, as I said, like when I watch the more experienced players, I don't see that with them. Like I don't see them going crazy. I don't see the Netsu as an issue for them really. Like whether they get it or they give it, it doesn't really seem to affect them too much. Like I don't see a really good player going, fuck, okay, I've got Netsu, I need to rush down now. If they rush down, if they were going to do that anyway, or if they're in a position to, if the person's on the ropes, they've tech rolled or whatever, they've got them at the wall, then they'll keep it going. But I mean, if they've got a Netsu and they're in a defensive position, I don't see them changing themselves round to go, okay, well, my turn now.
Yeah.
It's a good example when you watch these two. Actually, they're kind of that same thing. Like you won't see the styles change when they get the Netsu. I mean, they may go for a few more lows, especially Ezzy because he's got like when Jin comes in. I do notice that he tries to go for the
lows,
the hell sweep or
is it down back 3
or the Omen stance.
Omen stance
3,
yeah. I think, I don't know.
Omen stance 4, I think.
And the specifics.
Yeah, but
the low that comes out of Omen stance. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I just think. Also, this game feels a bit different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like throw breaking is harder. I find whiff punishing. Like if somebody can throw out like strings just outside the hit range.
Right.
If you try and it's not really interrupting if they're whiffing the string. It's kind of whiff punishing, but then sometimes you just, like I said, you get caught in the vortex. You just end up getting hit.
Getting hit by it. Yeah.
End up getting counter hit. Like,
that's kind of always been the way. I mean, if you've got string characters always kind of flail around, and you've got to time it spot on to get them out of it. But I do just find now, punishment's just a bit more difficult. I find now.
I resort now more on like my forward freeze, just because I know that if I'm going forward, I have like a active hitbox going with me. Yeah, with Hayachi and Kaz because I'm counter hit.
Of course. Yeah.
So I've just found that, And it just, I don't know. It's because there's like, well, I don't know if it's actually true, but that 1 frame of lag as well apparently makes a difference. I mean, when I went back, I played a bit of T6. Like, I went back and played a bit of T6, and I just found it a lot like faster. But I couldn't tell whether or not it was just because their characters were bigger on the screen. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course they were huge on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Can't possibly say.
But obviously, like strategically, this game is much better, like infinitely better.
Don't find myself getting as bored with this game for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I just switch between my characters and kind of keep myself entertained.
What are your philosophies on the strategy involving, like in this game? Like, how do you use your?
Oh, how do I go about my thing?
Do you tag buffer all your launches? Do you tag us all the time?
Interesting. For now, because I don't play this game as much as I'd like to, so I just find myself always tag assaulting. For instance, I'll always tag assault, like, because I'm not too fussed about giving people Netsu. I've never played anyone who I've been scared enough of to think, okay, don't give them the Netsu. I just want the damage. But
so ideally, if you put in the hours that you wanted to put in.
The way I would like to play is to know. I would base it on characters. I wouldn't base it on people. I'd base it on characters for me. For instance, let me give you an example. Bruce players.
Yeah.
I do not want to give Bruce players rage.
Yeah.
Bob players. I do not want to give Bob players rage.
Yeah.
But then, for instance, like these guys, Jin and all this shit, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all because they're just kind of pokey characters. I can deal with it. But people that have strong lows, like Bob, or like Bruce, for instance, when he does what is it when he dashes up to you? Crouch dash free.
Yeah.
Now that thing on Netsu, because I don't want to duck.
Yeah.
And that thing on Netsu,
make it up.
And that's the mix up, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to give anyone more of a mix up than they need to have. But the way I play now, I'll always do tag assault. I use Fang and Raven. Raven to do the fancy stuff, get some damage off. And then Fang to come in and play solid and keep it clean. I don't play fancy with Fang in this game. I used to before, but not anymore. I've just decided that now it just happens to work very well to have the solid flary. Yeah. So I've got my flary character, I've got my solid character, and it just happens to work very well. Unfortunately, the synergy is pretty good. The combo damage could be more, but there you go.
Nice.
I think the team actually is pretty good.
That
was Dinosaur saying, "Ezzy, you're so stupid," because he is.
Don't worry, we'll cut up all their banner and we'll release it as like a special video.
You know what we can do, right? Is get the banner and we can actually just make like a remix single. I can play a tune and I'll have a tune. I'll play some music. Some music, and then you can put that over it, like, you know, Ezzy, you're so Ezzy, you're so Ezzy, you're so stupid. Ezzy, you're so Ezzy. What do you think?
Excellent idea.
We could release it.
That it can be your debut single for the Victor Von Dollars record labels.
Oh man, yeah. What's your rap name, by the way?
I haven't thought about it. I don't know. You could make one.
Big Money Leif.
Big Money Leif.
Big Money. It doesn't rhyme. Does it have to rhyme?
Ladies love. Ladies love.
You know what? Luckily, we're never going to be big enough for LL Cool J to come and do anything about that. So you don't give a shit, right? Then ladies love Leif. Triple L. Triple L.
Yeah.
Damn.
L cubed.
What? L cubed. Oh, L3. Oh my. Leif, you are a fucking genius. L3. Leif cubed.
Yeah, balcony. What's your opinion on balcony breaks?
What do you mean? What, do I like them? Do I not like them? I think they're okay.
I think
unnecessary, but sure. It changes it a bit. Gives it something fresh. It gives you something to think about, I suppose.
I think it changes because, you know, obviously this game is heavily momentum based. It's just another thing that changes the momentum of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
It messes up. It doesn't mess up your combo, but it makes you like adapt your combo. There's this whole like long animation of waiting for whoever to fly down.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? It's just another thing that kind of
think about. Yeah, well, it's another thing
it's just another way of the game just dictating how you as a player you want to like not like express yourself, but play your character. Yeah. It's just interesting, and this annoys me as well. Having to wait at this loading screen every time you play rematch, it's just stupid.
Yeah, well, that's the PS3 thing, mate. On Xbox, that's not as bad.
And you have to
PS3.
Come on, obviously those opening animations can be well annoying after a while.
Yeah, you can.
I don't know. Obviously, they still have to have them. Yeah.
You can skip them. I always skip mine, man.
I'm nitpicking.
Nitpicking already.
Yeah.
I hate the colours. I hate it all. Yeah.
Some of the stages are a bit whack as well.
Yeah, well. You just kind of
So
learn to
many games,
you learn to just phase it out.
Yeah.
Every time a new Tekken game comes out, I'm like, oh, nice stages, nice music, and then it becomes I completely forget what every stage looks like, and I turn the sound off.
Yeah.
Like I remember when DR was out. I mean, I used to love all that shit when it first came out, and by the end of the game, I couldn't even remember what the stages looked like, because I remember going back to some videos and then thinking I couldn't remember that stage.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember the music. It just goes. The only thing you start to remember is basically the characters.
Yeah.
And the shape of the stage, like, it's a square or an octagon or a circle, and then whatever afterwards, like that tart in the background, you're gonna forget she even existed.
All the characters' skanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
All the fireworks in the background there, you'll forget. It's fine.
I've noticed Ezzy's really good at back roll catching.
Yeah, he looks real. Dinosaur used to do that a lot as well when he played Raven for some reason, because with Raven, when you're rolling back, Raven's down forward 4 launches crouches. So obviously when you're rolling, you're still kind of in crouch at the end of the animation.
Yeah.
And Dinosaur used to look for that a lot. Not anymore. I don't know what his characters can do about that though. So. But yeah, man, Jin, fucking hell, super good in this game.
Yeah, that launcher out of stance is ridiculous. High crushes.
You know what you mentioned about momentum? That's one of the reasons why Jin's so good now. Or always has been, I suppose. But in this game especially, because he just keeps the momentum going. It never really stops for him.
Yeah,
because of the strings. Because, unless he ends the string.
You know, he does that. Is it forward 4 into that stance? That.
Yeah.
He can just do that. If he cancels it quick enough, I don't think he can hit.
No, you can't block it. No, it's safe.
It's crazy. The only thing
and on hit,
do,
on counter hit, you get the combos.
Yeah, you can. I think you can step it to the right if you know that he's going to do it again. So if he does forward 4 stance, forward 4. But then he has options for if you step to the right. Right.
I mean, you can.
He's quite an intense character, like.
Very. There's not much. He's a very scary character, actually. He's so safe. He's strong. Got the good combos now. There's not much you can really do about him. That's the thing. I can't think of any anti-Jin character. What would it mean to be an anti-Jin character? Because he's so solid.
Yeah,
like he hasn't got any.
Parries heads, knees, elbows, shoulders. Probably, I don't know. Parries everything.
Good punishment. Yeah. I mean, there isn't anyone designed to beat Jin, really, or not anymore.
Yeah.
He's just got it all, really.
Do they still? I heard ages ago that they balanced the game around Jin. As in, this was in T6 day.
What, normal Jin?
As in, yeah, they started balancing the game around normal Jin.
Possibly.
Right.
It would make sense.
They still do that because
he's such a solid character. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah, I don't know. But in this game, it just happens to work. I mean, Tag 2.
The system suits him. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I've noticed that a lot actually.
Yeah.
That haven't been even characters that haven't changed really that much.
Yeah.
Whether I think this is the thing about Brian before as well. You're saying is whether the system has adapted to them,
whether it complements you or not.
Yeah, whether it complements that character. Okay, now we're recording.
Yeah.
Well, that.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. If it sounds like we just got cut out midway.
Maybe we did.
Maybe we did, because I pressed the stop button by accident. So, anyway, the system and Brian.
Well,
that's what we were talking about last, I think.
Yeah, if the system suits you, then yeah. I mean, Mishimas weren't. I mean, Mishimas were all right in 6. You could argue the Devil Jin was like top 5 in 6.
It was very good.
Yeah,
very good. Yeah.
But now they're solid top just because electric and did their buffs, and then because electric is tag, you can tag straight off electric.
Yeah, well, they haven't lost anything.
Yeah,
they've gained everything.
No,
just amazing.
The system suits them.
Well, much like most characters now, I suppose. Except for some people, as we mentioned, it just benefits them a bit.
What do you think about the number of characters in the game? How do you feel about that?
Boy.
Too much?
I like it.
You like it?
I do like it.
Even the clones?
No, the clones are horseshit. Fucking waste of time. But if you're going to clone most of the characters, you might as well clone everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had two things. Feng and...
His older brother.
Bob.
No, not Bob. Jim. There you go, Jim.
Feng and Jim. What a team. Yep. But yeah, no, I think it's horseshit. The clones are horseshit. But I like all the characters. The only problem is that if you're not a super competitive player, it's just, you know what, like, I don't have the time to play this game as much as I'd like. And the only people that do are the Koreans, I suppose. Yep. And yeah, you're never going to be able to, I mean, seriously, it's already hard enough to learn to fight one character in Tekken. You know, because I mean, they're very in depth. This game is very deep. Now you've got to deal with 60 deep characters, like 55, whatever it is.
If you play like a defensive
exactly.
character, like a defense based character, then yeah, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. What, you're going to learn every matchup?
You have to.
I mean, at least.
I mean, that's how I'd recommend if someone, for example, wanted to learn how to fight Warren.
Well, yeah.
You just have to sit there and realize what he can possibly do in these situations.
You have to times that by however many characters.
Yeah.
And with the tag, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. That's why most Western matches you see are kind of mash happy things. You know, people don't punish. Like, I mean, I sometimes watch high level matches. Sorry, non-Asian high level matches, and you know, people, the commentators would be like, "Oh man, you should have ducked there, dude, or you should have punished that." And I'm like, "Man, are you serious?" I could never in my right mind tell anyone they should do anything in this game.
Yeah.
Because like for every one thing you learn to do, there's another 17 things that you haven't learned to do.
Yeah. Your mind can only hold so much information.
Exactly.
Man.
So you know, so in the matchup,
That was sick.
I could imagine that you've learned to duck a particular string, but then you don't punish this one simple -10 thing all the time. Like, I can understand that because it's just too much, you know. And but yeah, so good and bad. I mean, good because I like a game with a lot of characters. I mean, it keeps it fresh, and plus we're not going to see this game get stale. Like, I think all the old games get stale really quick. But there's so many characters, so many variations that I don't think even after a year, 2 years, I think it'll still be kind of something new coming out.
Hopefully, it will be interesting to see how the.
I don't think we'll ever see what happened with Tag 1, for instance, where it just became like the 4 or 5 teams, and no one else. Like, this game is not like that. You know, you can have someone come along and use Kumas or whatever
and do really well. Right.
So at least in that respect, that's good.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I unfortunately think the West. I think the West will suffer, as they always do.
Purely because they don't play as much.
Yeah, we don't have that. We don't have that arcade. We don't have Green Arcade with 20 cabinets with every character being represented in our arcade. We don't have that, do we?
Nope.
I mean, even now, the London scene particularly is getting much bigger, but we still don't have all the characters. Nowhere near. But not even most of the characters.
Yeah.
We have some of the characters.
Select few. Yeah.
I mean, we have a Billion Bobs now. That's great. That's good for us.
Yeah.
We have like a Roger. A few Bruces, you know, Brian's, you know, we've got Harangues.
You've got a couple Mission players.
But we don't have, like, for instance, we don't have any Creddies, we don't have any Eddies or Christies.
Asim.
But I mean a specialist, a real specialist. Like, he's I don't think, to me, Asim's not an Eddie player. He's a good player who uses Eddie, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? He's not using the super intricate stuff with Eddie. He's just playing him solid and whatnot. I'd like to see a pure specialist Eddie bring out all the skanks, because that's what you need. Like, if you want to learn to fight a character, you don't need to play someone who's good who uses that character. You need to play
someone who's good with using that character.
Yeah, exactly. Who's been using, who knows all the nastiness, the little sneaky things, the sick things.
Yeah.
Like Misty, you know, Korean, that guy Misty who uses Eddie and Christie.
I
would like to play someone like him. Anyway, we'll talk about this more in the next match. Bye bye.
Bye.